Hello, my wonderful CATAMANIA listeners. If you've been following me for a while, you are probably aware that I have set a set of slogans that have taken off that many of you really love. Some of them have become some serious beliefs and even missions. Like, for example, if something doesn't fit within your budget, I believe that you should just increase the budget. That a true dream job is to be a manager of husband's bank accounts. Now, some of these slogans have become serious missions. Like, for example, that we must resuscitate chivalry. Now, if you want to join me on any of these missions, or if you simply vibe with any of my slogans, you can now purchase my merch at mbhtv.com/collections/CATAMANIA. You also have a chance to win $5,000 if you purchase any of the pieces between now and end of July. The winner will be announced on my Instagram on July 29th. Good luck.
We're like brainwashed into thinking, we're from Canada, free healthcare, it's the best.
It's not free.
You're paying taxes for it, and then you go in and you have 15 minutes with a doctor. Here's what a medical professional is. We seem to act like they're wizards. No, they read a fucking book. That's what going to school is. We've all done it. There's nothing special about that. We all have that ability, thank you, internet, to read the same information. The difference now is that they're being bought by drug companies. You're no longer a medical professional, you're a pimp. The business was, we get people well. Now the business is, we treat whatever's going on to make you a bit more comfortable until we drug you into oblivion.
And welcome back to this week's CATAMANIA episode. I want to say maybe like a few months ago or so, we did it remotely. You already know her. Welcome back, Miss Nicole Arbour.
Yay! I'm so excited. Tax the rich is something rich people have never said because they understand they're the ones employing everybody. Every time I see that comment, tax the rich, I'm like, you make under 20,000 a year guaranteed.
Hello to all of my wonderful listeners and welcome back to this week's CATAMANIA episode. I am chatting today with a guest who you will remember because she was on my podcast, I want to say maybe like a few months ago or so. We did it remotely. We became quite close. She's an amazing human being. She's a comedian, an entrepreneur, and just all around an absolutely amazing woman. Many of you, I have a feeling actually most of you, just judging by how my followers are, you already know her. And judging by your reaction to the previous episode, I know that you will enjoy this one as well. And remember to hit whatever the like button is on the platform that you're listening to this on. Leave a comment, preferably a nice one, but if not a nice one, also still leave it because it boosts my engagement, by the way. And thank you for that, all the haters out there. Enjoy and stay blessed. So without further ado, welcome back, Miss Nicole Arbour.
Yay! I'm so excited. Hey.
The second I found out that we're going to be in the same city, I was like, please come back. Please, we have to sit down.
So much fun. Yes. And then it's going to be funny because we'll have so much to continue on my podcast next time when you come on mine. So
awesome.
We'll just keep the flow going.
I'd love to. It's awesome because you kind of reach a point where you almost like forget that you're on a podcast and you're like, at least that's my experience and that's what I've wanted for a long time. You just have a conversation, you know, like you kind of don't really pay attention to the fact that there's like cameras. Or do you? I don't know. We'll see. We need to like make ourselves a little bit more serious, a little bit more, you know, the lips. I just got my lips done. I mentioned that.
They look really nice.
Thank you so much. There's bruises. I wore earrings to match
your bruises.
Yeah, because I was like, there's got to be some kind of vibe here because I couldn't cover it. I put on like purple lipstick earlier.
And it was
too much. I was like, this is just not really the vibe that I thought I was feeling.
I feel like this is a trend to just match the bruises from injectables when you do it and just go with it. It looks really nice. You look nice. Your face isn't even moving. This is great. I think you're excited to see me, but I'm not sure. Botox. No, Dysport. Shout out Dysport. Yeah.
Dysport.
I'm going to like shove around here.
Yeah, just get yourself comfortable.
Let's get comfortable and talk about stuff.
We were talking about feet before we started.
Don't do it. Unless you're going to monetize it, don't do that. Yeah.
Is that still a thing on OnlyFans? Because it was like a trend, right? When OnlyFans started. So many of my friends were like, you know, I was actually thinking like just to sell feet pictures. People will know that it's my foot because I have a tattoo.
That tattoo.
Right. And I feel like I've shown it enough times on, not like shown it, but like shown it. English is
showed.
already
Shown.
left. shown?
It's my first language and I still mess it up. Yeah,
okay,
it's
well,
fine.
that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, it's fine. I make words up daily.
I feel like it's been visible to enough people in the world that like maybe they will recognize it. But if you have no tattoos and maybe your feet are a little bit harder to recognize, is it still a thing? Do you know? I don't know why I'm asking you. You're not on OnlyFans. We were just talking
I'm not,
about that.
but it's a thing. And I recently asked, because I just told you, like I was trending on Wikipedia, and I've been number 1 on Wikipedia, which I didn't know was a thing.
Wikipedia?
WikiFeet is a thing, and someone had accumulated all these photos over all the years of my feet that are randomly in photos or on a carpet or whatever it is. And I was trending, and my sister was like, "What are you doing? Sell the photos." So I asked my girlfriend, who's been my friend since like grade 9, grade 10, who's like a pretty Christian, Catholic, by the books, by the rules kind of girl. And I was like, "What do you think of this?" She goes, "You take photos of your feet right now and you buy a house." She goes, "And you have a great life with your hot husband, and you don't be stupid." She goes, "We're going to be old and ugly one day. You make those feet photos."
Oh my God.
So, and then she's like, "Get on." There's like a website specifically for it. And she's like, "Do it, just do it." She goes, "Do you find it sexual?" I'm like, "No." She goes, "Then who cares?" She goes, "Then you're not doing a sexual thing to you." And that was my friend who is very straight-laced.
Oh, wow.
I expected her to say the opposite, like, "Nicole, you can't. Come on. Come on."
So the $1 million question is, have you done it?
Not yet. We can do it
Come
together
on.
here.
Oh my, we should,
Yeah.
we should start a whole like feet channel.
We could. We'll just talk with our toes. Yeah. We'll just like do sub it and like just do a comedy thing and talk with our feet.
CATAMANIA podcast took a turn that nobody expected to
And now
to
it's
take.
way more profitable. Weird. Yeah. We can.
Feetamania. Oh, feetamania.
I feel slightly evil, but not.
Yeah, like it kind of like feels wrong, but right at the same time. You want a third of it?
Oh, because you were in the room? Oh, one of those writers. One of those writers. Yeah. Okay, well, we won't use it. Well, this is how Russians deal with things, right? Yeah, now there's 2 of us splitting it. This is what movies have taught me. I know. This is why I'm saying this.
And she's Ukrainian.
I'm Ukrainian. We're pretty much the
I'm from
same.
Moldova. I have a get out of jail free card in these situations. I'm from Moldova. I've been from Moldova this whole time. Okay. You know.
Okay. Don't invade me. I'm just kidding. No, really don't. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sit comfortable. Okay.
Your roots are Ukrainian, right? Like that's.
They're actually brushed in. I didn't have them. Yeah.
Ukrainian, Canadian.
Yeah. Ukrainian, Polish.
Yeah.
Ukrainian, Polish, Canadian.
Honestly, I feel like if you were to grab anyone from that part of the world, just like take anyone from that part of the world.
Yeah.
It's usually a mutt. Like mutt? Is that
Yeah,
a word?
we're mutts,
Yeah, we're
100%.
mutts. We're like I have Ukrainian, Russian, Polish.
I have English and French in there too. So
Yeah. It's just a thing. It's like a thing. It's a mix.
It's like they're cooking.
Yeah.
It's like everything's in there. And
Everyone
then
is just.
And it's pinched on the corners. A little little pierogies.
How Ukrainian was your household when you were growing up?
More than I thought. Like my baba and Didi, like their house obviously was like cabbage rolls, borscht. Like I just thought that was food, you know, like and sauerkraut. I still eat sauerkraut like it's nothing, and I just love it. And like that kind of food, and like the dolls inside the dolls inside the dolls inside the dolls, and yeah, that whole side was that. And then the other side was like the English Irish side, and there's different food over there. But it was like I'm very European, but I just didn't know because I grew up in Canada. So I'm just like, oh, I'm Canadian. Yeah.
Right. We talked about how Canada broke our hearts a little bit before we started. I don't know if we should get into this conversation. I've realized that like a lot
we have to break up
with Canada.
Mm-hmm. We have to break up formally with Canada. It's like it hurts.
It's literally like a toxic relationship. It feels like because we kept like my husband and I kept going back to like, oh, but maybe there's still like something that
Canada
can, you know?
beats you and steals your money.
Yeah,
okay,
it punishes you for.
Imagine though, like you're dating a dude, and let's say you make $100, and for every $100 you make, your dude steals $30 from your purse. Every $100 you make.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they're like, and also I'm going to take another $10 here and another $10 here. And you're like, well, what do I get for that? And they're like, is what it is. I'm your boyfriend. It's a boyfriend tax.
Yeah.
And then they like keep pushing weird ideas on you. Like, you know, maybe you're not a woman. Maybe you think you're a dude. Maybe you're confused as to what your sex is. And you're like, nah, I'm pretty sure I'm a girl. It's So like we'd be like, that's psychological abuse if it was a relationship.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, and I'm also going to take another $20 from that 100 because it's switch gender month and you have to donate to that or you're going to get canceled. It's like, what are you doing? Don't say anything back to me or I'm going to call the police and you're going to get arrested because then that's hate speech, bitch. And you're like, this is an abusive relationship. You're telling me what I can say, what I can do. You're taking my money. That's financial abuse. It is an abusive relationship to live in Canada. The amount of immigrants that are being brought in does not make sense compared to how many houses there are. Like, it's just basic mathematics. Now, I don't care like where you're from, what's going on. If there's 100 houses and you bring in 200 people, where do they go, Trudeau? Okay, I know you taught drama, not math, but it's pretty fucking basic.
Yeah.
You destroyed an entire country, and it's the country I grew up loving and singing the anthem every day.
Yeah.
And it's shit now.
Even the anthem, I guess there's now a change. What was it? Our sons.
I'm like tweaking with all this bullshit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's ridiculous. It literally breaks my heart. I mean, I moved there and I loved it so much, and I thought it was, the greatest country in the world because it was. Mm-hmm. And just these past, however long, like 6 years, well, ever since he got elected, it's just it's been just an absolute gong show, and like things make no sense.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about the wonderful videographer who's sitting behind the cameras was complaining about the prices in Miami.
Yeah.
I will have you know that everyone who's listening to this, if you're living in like United States or specifically Florida, your prices here are fine. You should check out Vancouver and Toronto.
They're wonderful here.
Yeah.
And you get stuff. And you know what's nice too? The healthcare in America. That's controversial to say.
Ooh.
I don't care.
Ooh.
I don't care.
I agree
Actually,
with
it's really good in Jamaica, which is
It's
surprising.
really great in Russia. It's really great in Ukraine. It's really great in all the former USSR republics. Say what you will. That's the one good thing that came out of communism and stayed there. That's the healthcare system. Sorry, I just had to interject there.
That's okay. Because we're like brainwashed into thinking we're from Canada, free healthcare. It's the best.
It's not free.
You're paying taxes for it. And then you go in and you have 15 minutes with a doctor.
Yeah.
That it took you 2 weeks to get that appointment. And then you have 15 minutes. They look you up, they look you down, and they go, what depression med do you want? And you're like, I'm here because there's a thing stuck in my leg. I fell. And they're like, sounds like you're depressed. Take these meds. Come back in 2 weeks, get more meds.
And by the way, do you just want to kill yourself? Like that?
Because we can help you.
We can help you with that
too.
Yeah, we can help you with that.
We actually have a 2-for-1 deal. You can die for the price of one. It's a Trudeau special.
Yeah.
Fuck yourself, then kill yourself.
Yeah.
He fucks us till we die. This is an abusive relationship. This is not. No one's like, why do all these Canadians want to be dead suddenly when Trudeau is the leader? No one's asking that. He's just
no one is asking that.
I'll import new voters. It's fine. Kill yourselves off.
What happened to critical thinking? Like we were like, this is like one of the most
advanced.
advanced.
You go to jail for that in Canada now. Or you lose your license if you're a doctor like Jordan Peterson.
Right.
Yeah.
What's happening with that, by the way? Do you know?
Last I heard on it is that he lost his doctorism. Like
my
he
God.
doesn't get to be a doctor anymore because he hurts the feelings of some people.
Because he hurts the feelings.
He hurts the feels. The feels matter
He's
more.
a doctor that hurts. He's a doctor who's actually doing his job, and
Stop it! You're gonna get us both canceled out of Canada where we don't want to be.
Ouch! Ouch!
Take all of my money. I love living here.
Yeah,
and the food prices. The food prices in Canada are nuts. Like I keep looking this way because I'm talking to your audience as well, so they agree with me.
Yeah.
It's not normal to go to Loblaws in Canada, that's like our big chain, and buy a pack of baby carrots and it's $5, $6, $7. Are you on crack? Or is there crack in these? Because then I can understand the price. We're just being screwed. And they're like, oh, we're going to put this carbon tax, and now gas costs more, and now our farmers can't farm, so now our food costs more. But it's not Trudeau. It's like, I feel
no, it's you actually. If you're making a lot of money, it's you. It's all your fault.
Tax the rich. Just tax the rich is something rich people have never said because they understand they're the ones employing everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I see that comment, tax the rich, I'm like, you make under $20,000 a year guaranteed.
Yeah, 100%. I loved paying taxes when I wasn't making money.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't paying any taxes.
Yeah.
But the more money you make, the more you're like, hold on a minute. Because you start questioning, like, okay, where's this money going, actually? Like,
to Ukraine.
I'm subsidizing.
And Israel and the pockets of everyone else that's doing the money laundering with them. How do we get into that business? Forget the feet photos. How do we get into the government money laundering?
We become politicians, but normal people usually don't become politicians. Normal, sane people, right? Would you ever want to be a politician?
I
Have
was
you ever thought
asked
about
to
that?
be multiple times. I was
Were you?
offered copious amounts of money in both Canada and America
Oh, wow.
to get into politics. And it's terrifying
Yeah.
because it's like, it is a soul cell.
Yeah.
You're
for
in.
sure.
Once you're in, you're in. You think the P. Diddy stuff is bad? The politics stuff is way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's blackmailed everywhere. I'm like, I don't really want that life.
No Botox is going to help get rid of those stress wrinkles that would come my way.
Yeah, that's good.
Like that's,
Yeah.
They
Starting to
look-
get so heavy. It's true though. These are the things I think about when I'm like, on my little bike in the gym, and I'm like, wow, it's so weird that the Barbie movie didn't win these Oscars, and yeah, they probably shouldn't have. And also, everyone's blackmailed in the government. That sucks. Like, this is how my brain divides. I'm like, I'm on Christina's podcast tomorrow. Probably gonna wear my fun FUBU shirt. Yeah, but also, oh my gosh, our tax money is being sent to other countries. That doesn't make sense because taxes are for that country. What the fuck? Yeah, it's my brain.
I'm really grateful for Canada. Huge disclosure and disclaimer. I am grateful for where I am today. I kept always saying like, Canada gave this to me. It didn't give it to me. I worked hard for it. But at the same time, it's because of the opportunities that the country has historically provided to people that I got to where I am, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm very, very grateful for that. But I'm also very mindful to realize that all happened prior to it becoming what it is today. Like it's just
Yes.
day by day, there's decisions that are being made that I'm like, what are you doing? This country is going to hell. Like it's not, those are not good decisions. You're not driving the country into a good place.
Like in a baseline.
Yeah.
Good decision, bad decision. I think we could line up a group of 5-year-olds, like kids say the darndest things, and ask them these simple politics questions, and they'll have better answers than the Canadian government has. But the part that broke my heart about Canada, like I loved growing up Canadian. I love
Canada. Like I genuinely
on my
love
backpack.
Canada.
I don't love it anymore. I can't say that I do. I don't. I love Canadians.
Yeah.
But I grew up with funny people.
Right.
And that's what Canadians were to me. Like, we're like, like Eastern Europeans are pretty funny too in a different way.
Yeah.
Jamaicans and Canadians have very similar sense of humor as the one I grew up with. But all my friends and like the hockey bros, they're funny in their way. And everyone was just funny. We don't take ourselves too seriously. Yeah. That's the Canadian way. And we're taking ourselves seriously now. So it's like, now you're just annoying.
Everybody's getting so offended and it's so... and you know what?
No.
Actually, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I don't find that in US. In US, people are a lot more blunt. At least like, Florida, even actually in LA, like maybe in a different way, but people were a lot more blunt. Like they were a lot more direct.
Yeah.
And there's less of this tiptoeing around issues and like, I don't want to say anything wrong. Like in Canada, it's to an extreme. It feels like you can't really have a deep conversation with somebody who you just met. Whereas here, I find it's a little bit similar to how it is back home. Like the Eastern European way of like, okay, maybe I won't smile at you right away, but within 5 to 10 minutes, if I like you, we're going to have a deep conversation about something.
About some real shit.
Yeah.
Everyone is so scared in Canada. I'm telling you, they're in an abusive relationship with their country. So now they've been abused so much, they're like scared. They're like, just don't do anything to upset them and we're okay. And it's like, well, that's not life. That's not life.
Of course.
I lived in Nashville during COVID because they stayed open. I got there and I was like, what? And the Uber driver literally told me to take my face diaper off. And he was like, COVID didn't come around here. And I'm like, love it. Let's go.
I
Nashville.
like you.
Yeah. So I took off my face diaper, as he said. He told me I couldn't wear that in his Uber. So that was pretty cool.
Wow.
And I found that people there are more direct as well. I guess it's a southern state with lots of guns, lots of Jesus. And sometimes they'll like add a little sweet tea twang to things, like, like bless your heart is fuck you. But in general,
code word.
Oh yeah,
or code
like,
phrase.
Bless your heart, bless her heart. I'm like, I know what that means, you sassy, But in general, I found down there too, you could have real convos with people.
Yeah.
But then Canada, it got weird. I think you're not free if you can't say what you think.
100%.
And if you can't be funny, if you can't joke around, if there's no satire in a population then you're getting close to communism.
Yes.
That's like one of the biggest things throughout history. When they start picking off comedians or charging them with things or whatever, then communism's about to hit. It's like
100%.
through history. I studied the history of comedy.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's why, well, that's not the only reason why, but I have a lot more faith in US than I do in Canada currently. Because there's still these places where you have freedom that people are holding on to, freedom of the individual, that idea of the I always say it's the closest thing to the freedom of the individual that we've had in history, as far as I know. I mean, I don't know, maybe I don't know all history of all humanity ever since, we started, but I have a lot more faith in US than I do in Canada currently.
It's Americans.
Yeah.
Same
Americans.
thing. Yeah. I have faith in Americans.
Yeah.
That they won't give it up. They won't be like, no, okay, here's my freedom. Yeah, right.
You shoot at hurricanes, for the love of God, right?
Yeah.
Like that famous picture during the
just stick their freaking flag and stand in a hurricane and then fire some rounds into the air, because why not, Merca? Yeah, we fought for this and we'll do it again.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, just Google Americans shooting at hurricane. You're welcome. Just do it. Just do it now.
It's
Trust
like
me.
It's like Googling your birthday and Florida man. Have you done that?
No. Can we do
have
it
you
right
done
now?
That? Yeah.
What does it do? Oh my God.
Google your birthday, whatever your birthday is.
Like a full
Just like
year and date?
Just date and month. And I'll do it with mine too. It's so fun.
Florida man.
And Florida man.
So
let's see what the headline
March
is.
20th, Florida man. Stop it. Oh my God. You're March 22nd. We'll do you in I'm March 20th, by the way.
Oh, mine is so good. Okay, go ahead. Oh, this is I
The
can't.
first thing that shows up. Ready?
Yeah.
Florida man attacked by neighborhood squirrel who has residents on high alert.
You think you're gonna take his freedom? You like? Are you ready? This was mine. Oh, I'm
An
sorry.
aggressive. Sorry.
Go,
This just
go,
got better.
go.
An aggressive squirrel has continuously terrorized the neighborhood, causing residents to act in an extreme abundance of caution.
Oh my gosh, this squirrel, he's just wilding. This crazy ass squirrel. Get him.
Okay, what's yours?
Oh, I don't.
We'll do yours
I
in a
have
sec.
chills. I don't know if I can even do this. Whew. Florida man accused of killing dancing flamingo is hit by truck and killed before trial. Florida man accused of killing dancing flamingo. He was hit by a truck. That was a murder for sure. They were like avenging the flamingo. I
feel like America is like a never-ending music festival. Like, have you ever been to like a really crazy music festival where everybody's just being themselves and doing their own thing? That's America.
That is the greatest analogy I've ever heard from America ever.
Mm-hmm. And everybody's
Ever.
just giving, like, that whole idea of like, hey, let's give each other space. There's space for everybody here.
And
Like,
everything.
You want to chase a squirrel that attacked a whole neighborhood? Boom, you're a hero. We're going to write an article about you.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah, I agree. It's hey, you want to live somewhere where you can just ride a boat up the streets? You got this place over there. You want to shoot guns and do this stuff in backwoods? You got this spot. You want to complain about everything and dye your hair blue? Go over here.
Yeah. There's a spot for you over there. Exactly.
People say it's not inclusive, but it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to do you. I feel like German. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yours is like the,
Is it
oh
dark?
my God, just wait for it. Florida man arrested after slapping woman with a slice of pizza. Deputies say.
Everybody has to try this now. Everybody, do your birthday and Florida
Please
man.
do this right now and go into the comments and just write what you got, because I cannot wait to read all of this. This is amazing. Everybody needs to do their birthday and
Why
Florida
did he
man.
kill the flamingo?
Florida man shoved woman to get at yours is like March 22nd is an eventful day in Florida.
Wow.
Florida man shoved woman to get at her egg rolls. To get at her egg rolls?
No, that checks out. Egg rolls are delicious.
Yeah. Yeah, March 22nd. I don't know what. Yeah. Oh, wow.
A good old pizza slap.
Yeah, Florida man arrested after shoving woman in dispute over egg rolls. This is amazing. Yesterday, my husband and I were in Brickell having lunch, and there was just like this, there's traffic, obviously, cars coming by. And there was a guy on a bicycle dressed in like a gold outfit. Like it was all gold with
As
like
one
a
does.
hoodie, as
Yeah.
one does, of course. his bicycle had like gold sparkles, and he was blasting music and just vibing to it. And anyone who would look at him, he would be like, yeah. And we were like,
I'm jealous
this
of
is
him.
kind of odd. Like, I kind of want to be dressed in all gold and be on a bicycle and have sparkles. Like, he's the main character of this
100%.
movie. And you know what? His vibe, his energy, like in that moment, actually like made everyone else also see him as like the main character of that snippet of his movie.
I love this for him. And I love that you got the runoff energy. That's really fun.
I was like, damn, I should probably consider doing something like that when I
Yes.
hopefully move to Miami. You
Do
know?
it. I'll do it with you. We can just have random dress up days. I was going to ask you if you wanted to wear a ball gown today, just for no reason.
What's a ball?
Like a long, big, beautiful ball gown.
Oh,
Fluffy.
ball gown. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just do a ball gown.
Oh, and now I
episode.
feel like suddenly very underdressed.
You look really nice.
Thank you.
You match
so
your
do
couch.
You. But like, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
totally like blend into this couch.
Yeah, and the earrings match the bruise. Like you're
my
so
earrings match the
coordinated.
bruise, and my outfit matches the couch. Okay, I actually do like matching series on my Instagram stories always because I love that like little. I don't even
Aesthetic
know what you would
pop.
call it. Yeah, aesthetic pop of like that you don't even intend often, and then you just feel good about yourself. You know.
Yeah, you look great.
Thank you so much.
Yay!
So we have more faith in the United States than we do in Canada.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, I do. And you do. And
I
that's
do
good.
too. I do
Once
too.
you change the anthem, you can go F yourself to me. Like, just get the F out of here.
I think they changed it from "In Our Sons." Is it "In Our Sons' Command"? Was that the lyric?
I think so.
They changed it to like our hearts, which kind of sounds all
In
right, but at the
our
same
sons
yeah,
Stop.
But at the same time, it's like why
Every country in the world has a really shady, dark beginning. That's how
Yes.
countries are made. It's not a knock knock, can I have this land? It's an invasion every time. Welcome to history. So if every country's like, we really feel bad about that, we're going to change everything. The British have to give all the gold back to everyone they stole it from because that's how they got it. The, king's taking jewels off his crown. Like, it's not going to happen. Just accept history as it was. Be proud of what was made of that land that you decided to come here and join. It's not resident, born and raised Canadians complaining, BT dubs. Yeah. It's people who, had different people immigrate, and then they're like, I don't know, this is offensive. I find this offensive. This song that was made 140 something years ago. Meh. It's like, shut up, then leave. Go away. We need more of that energy, I think, in the world. Like, I don't care. You don't like this joke? Go away.
Yeah.
You don't like this? It's not for you. I don't go and get egg rolls because I'm not a big fan anymore. And I'm scared someone will slap me in the face with pizza. What restaurant has pizza and egg rolls? This is a good...
We need to find...
It's an
somewhere
Italian,
in Florida. It's got to be somewhere in Florida.
Italian-Chinese fusion. Fire.
We need to open one if there isn't one in the neighborhood that like we're
Let's
living
do that.
in.
And we're like white people doing it.
And we'll have the guy from the new, because there's a photo of him in that article. We'll just have him as like our brand, the face of our brand.
Yes. And you pay extra to get slapped in the face.
Ooh.
Let's
and people will come.
Open a restaurant called Florida Man. Stop giving us ideas. I'll have to kill you again.
Yeah, because you're going to want to share in that business.
Yeah.
And we're just not. No. No, just kidding. But actually, the whole slapping competition. So Alex, my husband, was at the gym the other day.
Wait, you just went the whole slapping competition as if that's something we were talking about.
No, we're talking about slapping. Sorry.
So the slapping competition.
See, my brain when it's like, wait, slap. I have to talk about a slapping competition.
Yeah.
So slapping with a pizza. But I just had like a brilliant idea, and I have to like circle to it. So Alex, my husband, was at the gym the other day, and they were playing a slapping competition on the TV. And he had like this moment of like, damn, this must be like the fall of the Western civilization, because like that is just watching these people slap each other. And it was both men and women, apparently, like the competition between men and women. And I was just thinking, because you were saying people would be slapped. Would be paid to get slapped in the face with a pizza slice. We should definitely start a slapping competition with a pizza.
A pizza slap off.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
But that would be definitely the fall of the Western civilization. Like that is the indicative moment of like, okay, our intelligence may be
is down.
Yeah.
It's okay. Words are hard for me too. I know that slap, like that's Dana White's the slap, like his slapping series thing. I forget what it's called, but it's probably something simple like slap off. When I saw that, I can't watch that because I'm like, ouch, that's like concussion after concussion after concussion. And there's not even like a sport to it. It's just like, bam. But the lowest common denominator also needs to be entertained.
Yeah.
And if that makes them happy, then yeah.
Well, and honestly, you kind of can't help but watch, right?
I can't watch that one. It hurts me. And I also am like, I'm not amused by it because I'm like, oh, slapping, it'll sting for a bit. If you really want to hurt someone, like if you want it to be like verses and like, I'm like, woo, that's harsh. Put two girls against each other and have them insult each other. That's harsh. Like Dana White's insult series, bitch versus bitch. Let's go.
Oh
You get a Russian girl against like an Arabic girl. They're going to say some shit. They're going to burn souls. You'll see a little puff of black smoke leave their body, and that was their spirit, and they will die. It's like, it could be harsh. You come on. And there'll be some girls that just like do this.
Yeah, just the look.
And then they'll just like, with their gum, and you'll be like, oh my God. Yeah.
That hurt.
Yeah, that really, ow.
I also can't participate ever in a slapper competition because I've paid too much
for your
this
face.
Like this can't be touched.
It looks wonderful.
Thank you.
Money well spent.
Thank you so much. I tried to like invest in like an all natural, not at all natural look, you know, like no makeup type of situation.
Aging gracefully, I guess. I kind of hate that phrase though. It's like, you're aging gracefully. It's just like, no, bitch, I don't want to age on my face.
Yeah.
Like,
and
why?
what's wrong with that? Why is there, I feel like in Miami, there isn't really that like stigma that exists in other parts of, I mean, I'm going to speak for Canada, not even for, but there are some places where there's still such a stigma around that stuff. And I'm like,
only with ugly people.
why?
Only ugly people judge people getting injectables. They're like, how dare you be even more attractive than me? It's like, attractive is available to everyone now. There's no excuse for being ugly. There just isn't. Like,
there's like a few exceptions. Like I have a couple of friends who are like genuinely living like an all natural lifestyle. Like they
yeah. Why? You could be
but they
hot.
look good. They look good.
Well,
they look really great. Yeah.
Okay.
I have one friend in particular who like she's gorgeous and she doesn't have Botox.
Yeah, all natural.
Yeah, she is actually all natural.
Oh, good for her.
But there is also a huge percentage of people who are
unfortunate,
and they are very critical of people who, well,
I've never seen a hot person get mad at people for doing their hair, makeup, injectables, whatever they want to do. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's 100% a jealousy thing, but it's available to you as well. So feel free. And if you're like, no, I want to do it all natural. Okay, then shut up about it. It's to me, it's the same thing as the anthem.
There could also be a financial aspect of it, right? Like they don't maybe want to invest, to put it lightly, right? Yeah. And they see other people invest in that stuff or have the funds invest in it, invest in it.
But like, why have a car when you can be pretty?
Yeah.
Sure. Why are you laughing at that?
You wouldn't choose being pretty over having a car?
That's
Come on.
Offensive. Oh.
Okay. Damn.
It was so nice to meet you guys. I'm just kidding. Nothing can beat that. I'm just kidding. That was really good. Yeah, obviously I'm joking. I'm not saying everybody's ugly. But for real, if you want to do injectables, just do it.
You'll never get... And why would anybody... Like, why would you care about somebody else making that decision for themselves so much, right?
I don't...
It's the same thing. Like you'll never get criticized. You know that whole quote. I'm being all like, I'm gonna steal a quote right now and pretend like it's mine. But you'll never get.
Yeah.
You'll never get criticized by people who do more than you. It's like that whole quote. If you're starting a business, you're never gonna get criticized by somebody who has started a business and succeeded.
This finger means I have to add to that because I've always gone with that quote. I'm like, yeah, I'm never getting criticized by people doing better than me. Not true. If they think you're on their heels, they're gonna criticize you because it's like that crab in the bucket vibe. And they're like, oh shit, here comes Cristina. Her podcast is starting to kill it. Talk shit. Or like some people who are like competitive and they know they don't have it. They got lucky or they had good marketing or whatever. They'll start to come for you. But the ones who are super talented, they don't care. They're like...
Even if you have a difference of opinion with them, right? They won't... They'll just be like, okay, that's something that I don't necessarily agree with, but I'm not going to criticize you for having a different opinion.
They don't care.
Have you ever had, like, obviously you've had this career for a long time. Have you ever had people whom you lost because you spoke about an issue or made fun of an issue that they disagreed with or they didn't like?
Yes. I've had people unfollow me and sometimes announce their exit.
I love that.
Which I think is hilarious. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was so excited when Tony Hawk followed me. And then I posted something about if I were to be able to vote in the last election, I would have voted for Trump. 100% based on him, what he does internationally.
Right.
Like, I don't care. I don't want to, let's get into all the nitty gritties of personalities and what they may have done, not done. Internationally, he's a very good diplomat with the leaders of other countries. Maybe it's because they're all jerks. Maybe it's because they play games together on the weekend. I don't give a shit why, but he gets along with other major countries, which prevents wars and is good for all of us.
Yeah.
And just because I said that, Tony Hawk unfollowed. And I was like, well, fuck you, Tony Hawk. You know what? Whatever. And I remember one time too, there was this thing about stop Asian hate, stop Asian hate. All this stuff was going off, stop Asian hate. It was probably like 4 years ago. And I was like, Asians, I need you guys to chill. Because like, nobody hates you. Nobody worth knowing hates you. What is to hate about Asians? I think Asians are amazing.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like defending and being like, there's no Asian hate. Like, don't worry. You don't have to start this huge stop Asian hate thing. This was a one-off or even a 10-off.
Why did that start? Like, what happened?
Someone got attacked. Like, some older Asian people were attacked and it was horrible. But just because one thing happens doesn't mean all Asians need to be scared, and all Asians need to feel like they need to defend themselves now and that they're lower or whatever it was. I didn't want them to feel like that. Was my intention.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think there could be fear that they like just, I mean, not Tony Hawk, maybe not so much, but fear that if somebody sees that I follow a person who said that.
Yeah, 100%. But I'm really lucky. I'm at a really cool spot in my career where I'm in this giant bubble of I told you so. And I don't have to say it. Sometimes I do because it feels good and I'm a little petty, as we all are. But like, all of the things that I'm saying all of the things that I've said in my videos over the last like 10 years, people are going, holy shit, Nicole was right. There's actually an article, like a large reporter.
You're like
came
the
to me
live
recently.
version of The Simpsons.
Yeah, I'm like The Simpsons. So some of these people, I'm talking like huge names, huge politicians, huge celebrities have come to me in like the last few months and been like, you were right. I'm like, yeah, what do you want me to say? I know, I was right.
What were you right about? Do you mind sharing?
Oh, there was a bunch of them. Well, a really simple one was just like a very simple one. It was like the Shetty one. And just like,
What's happening with that guy? I never followed him. I genuinely can't speak like, you know, my truth about him because I don't know anything of him. But there was a controversy. We were actually just talking about that the other day. That there was some controversy about his.
It's just weird. It's just weird, simple, weird stuff that like his career was built on him being this prophetic thought leader, motivational guru.
Right.
And then I noticed probably about 5 or 6 years ago that everything he was saying was somebody else's quote. Everything.
And he was putting it as his own
Putting
quote?
his name at the end. So it would be a video of him saying, imagine it was like the Bible. Imagine he's like saying Bible quotes, and at the end he's like, Shetty, written and performed by Shetty. And that's what blew him up. And I was like, you're stealing all of these things. Like, there's no other industry in entertainment where this is okay. Like, it's plagiarism, sir. Like, just credit people, whatever. And I'd done one video about it. It blew up, whatever, and then it went back down, and he just kept going. He never addressed it. He just took down hundreds of posts that he obviously had stolen people's quotes. So then he keeps on going. And then there was this huge article in The Guardian a couple weeks ago where they had done a year-long expose on him, and they were supposed to be writing like a positive, fluffy piece about him for Esquire, but then the journalist rather, was like, this guy is not who he says he is. I don't think he was ever even a monk. So he does all this research on him, and allegedly they can't find any proof he was a monk, that he just kind of went to the equivalent of Catholic school, but for his religion. And, you know, it's like me being like, I used to be a nun. And it's like, no, I wore a kilt. It's like not the same, you know? So yeah, like that was a couple weeks ago, and then every major news outlet in the world picked it up, and I had almost every major news outlet in the world messaging me being like, you said this 6 years ago. And I'm like, yeah, okay, on to the next thing. They're like, do you want to get Shetty? Do you want to comment? And I'm like, no, for what? Like, there's no good energy about that.
Right.
Like, I hope he credits people, and if he's introducing people into spirituality, that's wonderful. But like, told you so, you know, like, and then it's happened thing after thing. Bill Maher had a rant that was so similar to my Dear Fat People rant, and his went viral, but then people did side-by-side compilations of mine and his, and it was so, like, It was very similar. His writers obviously were inspired, but shit happens. It's comedy. Like,
Right.
sometimes I'll watch things and be like, okay, I want to make sure I go and Google it and make sure that I just wrote that in my head, because I'm like, oh, that was too good. I must have heard it somewhere. Like, I hope I wasn't inspired by somebody else. And I got an apology from some people about that. And I'm like, yeah, it's all good. But it's like the last few months, I keep waking up and talking to my fiance. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's another thing. I'm flooded with DMs being like, hey, that other thing. Oh, about China. That was a huge one. Again, I made a video at the beginning of COVID about how we got to watch out for China, because they're playing the best chess game in the world. They're buying up the ports of all these different cities. Yeah. They're buying the highway. They built the highways in Jamaica so they can charge people a toll every time they use it. They're buying and giving loans to countries.
Montenegro was a big one because that's obviously close to where my husband's from.
Yeah.
They couldn't repay the loan. So now China basically owns the port.
Exactly. Yeah. And I talked about this years ago, and I had friends, personal friends, who were like, come on, Nicole. I think that we would know if China was doing that. I'm like, we do know. I'm telling you. This is me explaining this thing that obviously you didn't know about to you. And they're like, I don't think so. Well, China's winning. China has won the game. Like, people make jokes about Vancouver, like in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of Chinese people. They own the buildings. They own all these things. Like, why would you just invade a country and cause a war and destruct everything when you can play good chess and good business and buy the world? And that's what they've done. And I'm like, I was right about that. And now the news is reporting on it. And I'm like, yeah, told you. I feel like a jerk even having this combo, but like, it keeps on happening. It's fun.
Yeah. You have some psychic abilities, I guess.
I think I just watch and then I just report. But I'll take that too. I do feel like I get a little nudges of channeling now and then.
Because do you ever, when you see something, do you ever start questioning like, okay, is this true or is this not true? How do you know, okay, this is an issue I'm going to, speak about?
Is it true? Can I make it funny? Do I have a funny take on it? Then I'll talk about it. But the last like few weeks, do you know who Alex Jones is?
Yes.
Everybody has said he's crazy for so many years.
Yeah.
The amount of times he's right. Like, just think 5 years ago, there's all these crazy pedophiles and they're in Hollywood and blah, 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 blah.
There's an island.
Yeah, there's an island.
Everyone's like, he's crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's not.
Alex Jones channels, like, he gets nudges from the universe where, I don't know, maybe it comes from his tinfoil hat. Who knows? Maybe it's like a literal funnel. But he's right more than he's wrong. And isn't that crazy to think of?
It is really crazy.
There's people everywhere, every day, who are like, oh, I'll even go back to, it's so silly, but sometimes people are like, you made that Dear Fat People video. I'm like, yeah, that shit's funny. I rewatched it like a couple months back. I'm probably going to do a reaction video to my own video soon, because I watched a little bit of it and I was like, this shit's funny. I got to react to it. But we are in an obesity crisis now, like an actual crisis.
Yeah.
And like, we were so nice and we're like, no shaming and, everybody kill yourselves. We'll help you. It's like, well, kill yourself with the drugs or the pills or the this or the food. Pick one and die. And now it's a crisis. So I wasn't wrong.
It's a crazy crisis, actually. If you look around, those famous memes when you look at pictures of people on the beach in like the 60s and the 70s versus if you were to take a picture
now
like a busy beach anywhere in like United States now, it's crazy.
It's hard to not make grade school whale jokes. It's hard. It's difficult.
You're like, I shouldn't, but I really want to.
I won't do it, but they're in my mind because no, you're the devil on my shoulder. We're being poisoned. Yeah. And like, I'll come out and I try and find a way to say things because I'm like, okay, here's the issue. How do I get there so that different groups of people that aren't seeing this issue yet are going to get to it? And sometimes people will like the way I say it. Sometimes they won't, whatever. But like, we got to talk about the issue because our food is poisoning us. That's the one thing about America that I'm not really vibing with is the poison food. Yeah. It's like for every supermarket, the inside is poison. The food is around the circumference. So it's like this weird American gladiator, can you get through and not kill yourself? Like,
right. And if you're eating healthy and you're picking those foods, you're some kind of like special person who has some kind of special abilities to, you know, it's weird. You're considered to be on a diet if you eat healthy. Like if you just genuinely buy healthy food and you don't eat like crap, you're considered to be on a diet. It's like, no, I'm just eating real food. I just don't want to eat crappy food. That's all. That's not a diet. That should be everyone's lifestyle.
I think you're on a diet. Pills. Because now I got hypertension, I got heart tension, I got tension on my tension, I got diabetes 1 through 7. Yeah.
I like the switch on the accent there because
thank you.
Yeah. It paints a picture better, you know, of the whole situation.
I have these people, they live in my head. Yeah. There's in different states, they're in different countries, they all live in you live in there too. I hear you now and then. Yeah.
I sometimes come to you.
Sometimes it's just the look. Yeah.
I can no longer do it's kicking in, the Botox, but I can no longer do the
brow?
The very, I got it yesterday, so I feel like I should still be able to, but I can no longer do a lot of emotions. I can just do one emotion and smile.
You got me feeling emotions.
But it's crazy, you know, and I think also, how do you actually decipher between, you know, obviously you talked about that on the previous episode when I had a chat with you. You had a crazy accident and you lost pretty much all of your faith in, you know, the medical system. How do you decipher like what's healthy and what's not healthy with all the advice that you see online? Because, you know, you'll have 5 different experts talking about diet and lifestyle, and they'll have 5 different ways to do it, and they all think they're right. How do you pick
extremes
which one's which?
Are wrong because we're not meant to be extreme.
So you're not into the Liver King
no.
drinking cow's blood? If you don't know about this, by the way, you're listening to this, just Google Liver King.
If you don't wake up and stare at the sun for 5 minutes and then get in an ice bath until your nuts are shrinking into your body and then drink some testicle juice of a bull, then you're not a real man.
That's literally what he was doing.
Yeah. Drink some horse semen.
She's not exaggerating. Eat raw testicles. Why would I do that?
Yeah,
I don't want to eat raw testicles.
You're not even part of the lifestyle. She's not even part of it. Okay, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. Okay, bro. All right. I don't want to live the life you're living. So this is the thing that I look at is like, are these experts? And let's be honest, at this point in my life, I've met, worked with, dined with, hung with most of these people. 90% of them are full of shit. They don't live the life that they're telling people to live as their brand. That is a brand. That is their Nike. Does Nike make their shoes in an ethical way? Maybe. I wear them. I still wear them. I'm hoping. But these experts don't live that life. So it's important to know that right away. There's business experts who are like, yeah, hustle, hustle, hustle. And it's like, bro, that's why you're divorced and you never see your kids, because you hustled for 10 years and money matters more to you than real life. These food people, they don't actually live like that. And as Liver King got in trouble for, he wasn't doing what he said he's doing. So any of these extremes, it's just like, stop it. I'm not waking up and doing this sunlight thing and wearing these red glasses. You look like a loser. Stop it. Like, I don't care. I'm at this point where I don't care because they're so full of shit.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I do this every night and this is my routine and this is my regimen. And no, it's not.
And by the way, buy my supplements.
Yeah, and buy my supplements.
Yeah. All you have to do is just take my supplements.
Of course. Yeah, these are my supplements. I'm not going to name this one because I'll laugh too hard at it. There's a very expensive health system that's helping people lose weight quickly, and they're all about, you know, optimize. They put a motherfucker on Ozempic, okay? This obese man went to them for help, and they put him on Ozempic, and they didn't tell the audience. They're just like, he's already lost 35 pounds. I'm like, because you put him on Ozempic. And Ozempic is so bad for you. Please, nobody take it. Please.
What's so bad? So I'm a little bit late to all these trends. I obviously have heard about it, but
yes.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but when you're done, we need to zone in on Ozempic. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I go in my rant. It happens.
Yeah, no, and he lost a bunch of weight.
He's lost a bunch of weight so far, and the chances of his organs shutting down are pretty high. Like, there's all these class action lawsuits against Ozempic already. I have a personal friend that her friend, I believe it's her liver that gave out. This was a healthy woman who just wanted to look a little more slim. Liver's gone. all these people are having these horrible effects because you reach a plateau. And I've heard this discussed a bunch of times. With Ozempic, you will reach a plateau. Once you reach that plateau, there's nowhere to go but down. So the drug is going to have a negative effect, and you're going to start gaining weight back faster than you ever lost it. And then you're going to be stuck there, and there's nothing that can help you get to that spot again. So what the heck's going to happen when all these people that were all excited and skinny and whatever are suddenly gaining weight way faster than they lost it? Plus now their organs are shutting down, different organs, because their body was not meant to do this. It's the easy way is never the way. I think our bodies are built perfect. I think God kind of did a good job. All you have to do is eat food that the world makes and pick things up and put things down and stretch, as you always say, like tone your body. It won't tone itself.
Yeah, your body won't tone itself. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you in my head, by the way. Like I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh, it's not going to tone itself. So
I'm glad that means it's landing, because it's honestly, it will not do itself. You have to put in effort. People look for shortcuts. People are like, well, maybe if I take the Ozempic drug, I won't have to do it. I'll take it and then I'll miraculously look like a Pilates stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, Oreos are delicious. I get it. I get pizza. Slapped in the face pizza.
Maybe slap someone in the face instead of eating it.
Instead of eating it. Junk food is delicious.
Yeah.
And it's delicious because it's full of chemicals and drugs and fucking great. But it's not good for us, and you get fat. And if you don't want to be out of shape and your body to feel like crap, don't do that. That's the end. That's it. Like, you're not depressed. You don't have AZ, B2, whatever people want to say it is, trending, which is weird because it's regional. It's weird that only this country has a certain amount of alphabet diseases, but the rest of the world doesn't. And we won't attribute it to what we're eating, which is exactly what's happening.
And if you try to attribute it and you're not a healthcare professional or medical professional, they'll call you out on it, and they'll call you out, meaning that they will not have anything else to add to it. And they'll write an article about you and talk about how she's not a medical expert, but she's still talking about these things. Like there was an article in the Washington Post about birth control. That fired me up, because they went after my favorite app, and my girl Brittany Martin is the co-founder. Is the tracking one? The cycle syncing app. Yeah, they went after, and the amount of times they've pointed out that she's not a medical professional, or they went after another influencer who was talking about cycle syncing and said the same thing. She's not a medical. The 29-year-old, whatever her name was, is not a medical professional. Like just to throw that in there.
Okay, I'm just gonna do a little thing about medical professionals. Okay, here's what a medical professional is. We seem to act like they're wizards, like they were giving a sorted hat, a sorting hat, medical professional, and then they have these beautiful powers and they can heal us and whatever. No, they read a fucking book. That's what going to school is. We've all done it. We can all read the same books, the same articles, the same lab results. We can all read it. There's nothing special about that. Unless you're a surgeon, then to me, you have like a special skill. You're amazing. God bless you.
Yeah.
These medical professionals are people who read books for 4 years. We all have that ability, thank you, internet, to read the same information. The difference now is that they're being bought by drug companies. Because the information that they're given now, their new labs, their new tests, their new whatever, are paid for and bought by the pharma companies. So the results that they're now being delivered are, this drug is safe. If you have the following problems, don't switch the foods, don't do healthy things, you need this drug. You're no longer a medical professional, you're a pimp, okay? The second you're taking the advice of someone who's paying for these results to push it, you're a drug pusher, you're a drug dealer, stop it. And I stopped respecting the medical professionals when they switched from natural wellness and getting the business was we get people well. Right. Now the business is we treat whatever's going on to make you a bit more comfortable until we drug you into oblivion.
Right. Do you know when that switch happened? Because I didn't actually know that was the way it used to operate. Like they were doing actually more preventative things.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it was up until like 2008, even I remember comedians to me like mark time. They'd be making jokes about you go to the doctor and they're like, well, stop smoking.
Right.
A doctor can't say that now. You're smoke shaming.
Actually
they don't tell them. They don't tell them, you have to lose weight. They don't have, a lot of doctors' offices don't have scales anymore. Right. It's like,
What
we're
is
delusional.
happening?
We're delusional. We're just
Oh
delusional.
man, I come from a culture where if you're gaining a little bit of weight, your family and your friends will point that out to you. They'll be like,
Mine would.
you might want to like take a look at that, you know,
Yeah.
because they want you to be healthy. They want you to be feeling good.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I think they're right. I personally have been gaining weight on purpose for the first time in my life because I was like, oh, we got to make some babies soon. And I was at a natural doctor and they're like, we want you eating these foods. They weren't like, take these drugs or whatever. They're like, eat these foods. You're going to gain a little bit of chunk on you in a good way. Keep working out and stuff. But this is to help you get more fertile if you're getting ready for this. I'm like, okay.
So you're getting ready for it.
Yeah, and I've been
Ooh.
like eating yams and all this Jamaican food, and suddenly I have a booty, and it's kind of fabulous.
You look great.
Thank you. I've never had a booty. It's I sit down, it doesn't hurt.
I have a friend she's one of those people who gains weight in the right spots when she gains weight, if you know what I mean. Like her stomach
Lucky.
stays flat.
Yeah.
But like she gets extra weight in her booty and like a little bit of like up here. And I'm like,
She's
oh my
God's
God.
favorite. Yeah.
What happened there? Can you share some of those genes with me somehow? Because the first spot I gain weight is my belly.
Is she Latina?
No, she's
Oh.
from Moldova.
Wow, good for her.
Yeah.
Latina girls, I'm just like, look
Yeah.
at you guys go.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
everything jiggles in the right spots. Like, wonderful. They'll be like 65 and still like
Yeah.
hot AF.
They look fabulous.
Yeah. God
Yeah.
loves Latinas. Yeah.
So you're
You do too. So does the camera guy.
men too.
Men too. Men love Latinas.
He's Argentinian, so
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
This makes sense.
behind the camera there. Yeah. Oh, men love Latinas, you mean? Oh, I missed it. Okay. Yeah. I thought you meant men too, like, as in like South American men, like Latina men are also.
Oh.
They're really good looking people, I will say that. All of
Yeah.
South Americans, every single one, like
Yeah.
every single one, I've seen every single one. They're all really good looking. Mm-hmm. Like just very good looking people. In my part of the world, it's like women are really good looking. Men,
Scary.
don't get offended by this. Sometimes great. Sometimes it's like, okay, it's about effort. I think they don't, historically, they haven't put as much effort in themselves as the women in that part of the
That
world
all the
have.
guys look like sugar daddies, even if they're not. Just because the aesthetics don't align, you know? I get it.
Yeah. And I wanted to chat about your engagement.
Yay, I'm so excited. Oh, I shook the
Wow.
couch. That's how excited I am. Also just had coffee.
I know I had like a little too much coffee. I feel like
A little
I
jittery?
reached a level where my words, like I'm producing the words faster than I can actually speak, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which
happens
is
to me a lot. when I
Welcome
get
to my
excited.
podcast. Like Russian is conflicting with English a little bit, you know? The
That's
words
fun.
are coming out a little too fast.
That's okay. It's fun. This is entertaining for me.
If
Yay.
I have a couple of glasses of wine, accent comes out like naturally. Because I worked really hard on my accent just to see if I could speak like somebody, excuse me, who comes from Canada or United States. Like just I like this accent, this Americanized whatever version of English.
Yep.
And if I have a couple of glasses of wine, certain words just like they slip through, like oven, onion. I'll say a few things that just you could hear it.
I like it.
You know?
It's fun. It's a little remix. It's like when people are Spanglishing. I love it.
Oh, I know.
It's so cute. I think I just like Latinas. I just love them all. I think
Yeah.
they're great. Yeah, I
Very
do that
warm,
with,
very passionate people.
with English Canada. When I was doing a lot of on-camera stuff, I had to do training to lose my Canadian accent because I wasn't getting hired because my Canadian accent was too thick. So I did dialect classes.
What would that be? A Canadian accent,
My
even?
oot and boots, and
Oh.
there was, I could hear it now that I hear how I used to sound. I
Okay.
hear it, and then living in Nash, like I automatically adopted Southern slang and Southern ways of speaking because that's how everyone was talking. Like it was just we're talking, we're gonna go dancing. You know, like it's automatic. It's not like I was trying to imitate anything. It's just like, oh, y'all's the best word ever. Y'all is the best word.
I say y'all so much because I used to live in Alberta, and in Alberta, actually, quite a few people say y'all.
Yeah.
You know, there's Stampede and everything in Calgary specifically. So I say y'all, and somebody like was giving me shit about that online. Like, how come you say y'all? You're not even from the south of the U.S. And I'm like, actually, I don't normally get into fights online, but I'm like, actually,
You
they
should.
say that
I'm
in
just kidding.
Alberta.
They say it in Alberta, and
Yeah.
it's, you know what? You're being discriminatory because
Yeah.
it is the most fun word,
It is.
period.
There's something warm about it. Like when somebody says y'all, it's, yeah.
This is fun, y'all. Let's go, y'all. Hey, y'all. Like I think of my girlfriends in Nashville who were like born and raised there, and they're always like, "Oh hey y'all." I'm like, "Oh, I love you guys. Come on, y'all, we're going," or whatever. Yeah.
Did you like living in Nashville? How long were you there for?
Yes, I still am tied to Nashville as well, and I just love it. I love the people. I love the culture. There's some seediness with Broadway now that I don't really like that. Like there's a roofie epidemic there, and that's kind of scary. And it turned to the new Vegas. Like Nashville is now Nash Vegas, but the amount of creative people, freaking awesome. The dancing, I love line dancing so much now. Going out on a Saturday night, going line dancing,
Oh my God,
practicing with your friends the night before the new routines. It is so much fun. Like as an adult, there's not a lot more fun you can have.
How are you not from Alberta?
I don't know.
I feel like you are like, there's something Albertan about you.
I'm a country person.
Yeah.
I am. I'm like, I always say like, I wasn't raised country, but country raised me. I listen to country now. Hunting and fishing, I kind of love it. I was always like, ew, gross. And now I'm like, let's go hunting, babe. I went to Birdbush in Jamaica. It's like their big bird season for hunting. And I did it. And
Oh, wow.
I got birds. I got 3 in my first try. Yeah.
Wait, I think I saw a video. There was a video that, yeah.
I think so. I'm a good shot. I just love it. I love buckshots and I love skeet shooting. And I think I'm a redneck secretly. Yeah. I'm just like a Barbie redneck secretly.
I've learned to appreciate country music with age. Like there's something about, before I would be like, oh, I don't like this music.
Yeah.
But now when I listen to the lyrics about, family, Jesus, bow your head to Jesus. And like, there's something about it that I'm like, okay, I get it. I think I get it,
When you're in Nashville and you're just driving around and everyone's just playing country radio and it's not like slap a bitch, hit a hoe, twerking, be like, there's my pussy, air it out. Like those are real lyrics of songs right now. And it's like I love my girl. I love this bar. Let's drink some whiskey in my car.
It's like
just
simple, relatable,
Yeah.
and so really filled with love. It feels like there's a lot of love in those lyrics.
Drunk, have fun. Jesus, wife, kids.
Yeah.
This pretty girl, short shorts. It's great.
Yeah.
Great life.
Traditional life.
Yeah.
We talked about traditional values in dating and relationships when you were on my podcast last time.
Yeah.
So how long ago did you meet your fiance?
A year and a bit.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. A year and a bit ago. And it was that thing that people talk about. It was like, oh, there you are. It was like so obvious for both of us. We were both kind of like, okay.
How'd you guys meet?
In a bar in downtown Kingston, Jamaica. And I was sitting with a group of people and talking about how I was about to record a song and should I really need a rock guitarist? Like this idea I have in my head is a fusion of like dance hall with rock / metal vibe, but I need a rock guitarist on it, not a reggae guitarist. And right then this guy pulls in a motorcycle. He drives his motorcycle right into this outdoor bar. And I'm like, that's funny. And they're like, oh, do you know Skygrass? And I'm like, no. And he takes his helmet off like right then and walks in like Rasta Jesus. And they're like, oh yeah, he plays guitar. And they're like, oh, she needs someone on this track like tomorrow. And he's like, I'll do it. I was like, oh, but I need rock guitar. He's like, I said I play guitar. And I'm like, okay. And he's like this huge dude too. And I was like, okay, well, that's that. And then he ended up producing the track and recording it at his studio too, because the producer randomly, as fate would have it, had a family emergency the day of. I call Skygrass. I'm like, hey, sorry, the producer has an emergency. He's like, I produce. I was like, okay, sweet. I'll try and find a studio for us. He goes, I have a studio. I'm like, great. What time am I seeing you? And then that's my track that just came out that I think is charting as of today on the rock charts. It's called This Is It.
Woo!
And yeah, he's on it. And there's a reggae artist on it, him. There's Thagging, who's like a dancehall artist out of Kingston. And then there's myself on it. And I freaking love it. It's so much fun. And that's how we met, was working together. And I taped our whole first session just to have like the footage of that recording session. And we were in love. Like it was like obvious. It's like within 2 seconds, we're like, oh, there you are.
Is this something that you believe in is the only way? Like when you meet somebody, or can there be something that develops over time? Like, are you more on the side of like, no, it has to be like this and no other way?
Love is a decision. There's many flavors to it, and you get to pick which one you want. It's like some people have coffee with cream or sugar, you know? And I think there's some people that can get in an arranged marriage and develop love, and that's going to be their version of love. That's not what I wanted. There's also people, you know, who might marry for money, and the guy or the girl, or it's a good family matchup because they have money or status, and they can develop a partnership love. But this love is like, this, I didn't write this, he didn't write this, this was done. You know, it's like, oh,
somebody just like put you.
Yeah, both of us believe in God, and both of us are like, this is, ignore my potty mouth, okay, working on that. But both of us believe in God, and this is a connection. We were put together on purpose.
Yeah.
And that's that. And I think every single day I'm like, there he is. Of course, this is mine, of course.
This was meant to be this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
This
like,
is what, yeah.
We laugh our butts off all day, every day. And when things get hard, we figure it out, and we end up laughing about that too. Like, I live the real sitcom life, and I'm thankful every day. It's so fun.
You know, apparently you mentioned arranged marriages, and I heard, I don't know if it's true, I haven't verified that information, but kind of makes sense. Apparently arranged marriages have a lower divorce rate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's all they've known.
Yeah.
They're settled in it. They feel the companionship, and they feel like they have a partner, you know, different kind of partnership. I don't judge people in an arranged marriage. If there's those kinds that it's like the families help put them together, it's not forced. It's like, let's find this for you. Like, I've watched the Indian matchmaking, and I think it's cool. I'm like, I see how this works. Like, your family knows you, they want the best for you, and they find you someone suitable. It's better than going on Tinder and swiping through.
What are your thoughts on dating apps and Tinder?
Oh, it's hard.
Now that you've mentioned.
It's hard. Like, I've done different apps. Like, I was on Raya, and I went on like 2 or 3 dates from other apps, and it's weird shopping for humans. There's something weird, right? It's something strange about it.
Oh my God, that's the best description I've heard.
Because
I'm definitely stealing that from you. I will credit you for it.
That's fine.
It's
Okay.
shopping
thanks.
for humans. I
Yeah.
love that.
Uber
because
human.
I couldn't quite understand what it is about it that I met my husband when Tinder just started to like pop up. Like people were just kind of dabbling in it, right? It was very new. I've never used a dating app. My husband's never used a dating app. But there's just something about it that I didn't quite, just rubbed me the wrong way the whole time. I've met people who met on dating apps, got married, and had kids. It worked for them.
Yeah.
But there's just something about, and I couldn't explain it. And now I have the perfect explanation. It's like shopping for humans.
Shopping for humans. I think of like my guy, like if I was swiping, I probably wouldn't have stopped on him because he's horrible at taking photos of himself. You know, like sometimes we had this conversation even yesterday. I was like, babe, I met another guy that's like you. I was like, I need to phrase this properly because I'm not checking out this other dude. But I had a meeting with him. He's an actor, whatever. I'm like, he is much better looking on our Zoom call than he is on his Instagram, and it's unfortunate because he's a good looking man. But some guys they just don't care about that stuff. So whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So Cupid kind of brought you together, almost feels like. And how did he propose?
1000%. It was really cute. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. New Year's Eve, and we were at this big, amazing party in the mountains up in Jamaica, and we were coming down, and it was like a very kind of formally party, and we're coming down the mountain, and he's like, I want to show you this view that overlooks the city, and there's still fireworks going. And we pull over the truck, and I'm like, babe, I'm in stilettos. I don't want to come out of the truck, and I'm gonna whatever. And he goes, no, trust me, this view is amazing. I walk around the side of the truck, and he just like gets down on his knee right there on the side of the mountain. And he's not that kind of mushy-ish, that kind of guy. He did that for me, you know, like he got a ring for me. He did the proposal. It seemed like he like kind of practiced in his head. It was just the cutest thing. Apparently I snatched that ring right out the box, and
I did the same thing.
Really?
I did the same. Well, for Alex, when Alex was proposing to me, first of all, I turn around and he's like crying, like literally like just like crying. And I'm like, what is happening? And then I like see flashes from a camera because he hired a photographer. He was in Banff in Alberta. It was a really beautiful spot. But I swear I like didn't even hear what he was saying after he opened the box because I was like, ooh. Oh, yeah. Yes. And then I just put the ring on.
Sparkles.
It's like it got muted, you know? I was like, oh, damn, this is actually like, oh my God, I'm getting a diamond ring. You know, I definitely went like full, you know, girly
Girl.
Eastern European on the whole situation. I was like, oh my God, I have a diamond ring.
Wow. And it's really pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah, I understand the muted part.
Yeah.
That definitely happened too. Like he was saying a bunch of things to me and I was just like, are you serious? Oh, apparently one of the first things I said was, did you ask my dad? Did you talk to my dad yet? And he was just like, we've got to cover Nicole.
He did, yeah.
And it was pretty cute though.
Yeah.
And gave me a huge hug. He had the tears going too. And
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
How long was it between like when you guys met and he proposed?
less than a year. So probably 11, 10 months, something like that. And I told him, listen, I know what I want. Like when we met, when we started dating, I was like, I know what I want. I know what I want in a partner. I'm giving us a timeline. Like I will date you. We're coming from different places. We're doing things. If we don't know by this date, then it's a no. And that's it. And I think all women should do that. And he knew about that from the beginning. It's not like I sprung it on him and was like bitchy about it. And if you don't do this, then I told him from the beginning, I want a family. I want the following things. I want to be building an empire with my man. I want to be building towards the following goals. I'm not going to waste time. So if you have those similar, goals in mind and you think it's me, then we should know by this time frame.
What was the time frame?
I was like at 3 months, we know if we want to be together. And then I think by like December, I was like, yeah, I would give this until December to get engaged or that's it.
And how long was it from the moment?
And he did it on the first on purpose. I thought it was so funny.
He's like, I got to do this. I can't, yeah.
He apparently was carrying around the ring for weeks, but I got really sick. I probably had COVID and I was really sick over Christmas and he was like going to do it in Canada, like with my family. And then he's like, I'm not going to do this while she's sick and wearing a mask. Cause I wore a mask around my family to be polite.
Right.
Cause some of them are older, so he's like, I'm not going to do it then. So he was carrying this ring around with him for like a while.
Wow. And he hid it from you. You had no idea?
No idea.
Oh man, I had no idea either when Alex proposed. I have a friend, I have to mention this because it's freaking hilarious. This guy I used to work with, when he proposed to his wife, after maybe 6 months or so, she was like, yeah, by the way, just so you know, when you were hiding the ring in the drawer, you accidentally hid it in my drawer for a while there. And he was like, shit, I hope you wouldn't notice. Cause he hid it in the back of the drawer, I guess where all the underwear was or whatever.
Yeah.
And he accidentally put it in her drawer and he put it far enough that he thought she wouldn't notice. And she was so blunt with him. She was like, how did that happen? Like how oblivious were you that you accidentally hid the ring in my drawer?
In my drawer.
But
oh my gosh.
it happens.
Like when I'm going back in my mind now, I do remember him closing his computer pretty quick a couple times. And I have no thoughts in my mind that he'd be hiding something from me that's negative. So I was like, I think he's looking at rings.
Ooh, isn't it amazing to have a healthy relationship where you don't doubt, you just mentioned he was hiding something in his computer and you never had a thought that it could be something negative. Yeah. I always think to myself, I'm so blessed to have a relationship like that as well, because I don't care to even look at his phone because I know that there's nothing there,
Yeah.
That level of trust that I didn't realize how many people are missing that in their relationships, but you look around and it's like, holy,
isn't that wild?
Yeah.
But I didn't have that before. So every once in a while, I don't think he really has this, but every once in a while, way less now, but I'll just have a little twinge of some old stuff. And I'll be like, well, what are you doing? Where were you? What was going on there? And he goes, oh, we're going to do this. Okay. And he makes it funny. And he's like, I was here with these people. I did this and then that. Want to see my phone? There it is. You know my password. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm being silly. He knows that it's my thing. It has nothing to do with him. Yeah. And it's nothing he's ever done.
Is there some trauma in you from the past?
Oh, for sure.
Relationships, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you get to a certain age and everyone has something.
Of course.
But
some baggage, as they like to call it, right?
Yeah, sorry, I threw my phone at you, by the way.
Oh, no, that's okay. How dare you, Nicole?
Yeah. Whoops. Cancel me. yeah, you get some kind of something going on, and there's secrets, and really, I don't even know if it's necessarily just the relationships, but just, I used to think the hardest thing I ever went through was the car accident and getting better from that. But I almost feel a little weird talking about it now because it's not the hardest thing. The entertainment industry is way harder. Seeing the things I've seen and how people treat people and how nasty they can be and backstabbing and politics and entertainment, like that to me is way more traumatic, and stalkers and all these weird things I've been through in this than anything I experienced back then. Way worse. And because it's a car accident, I can understand that. It's like a car hit me, physical hurt. I get it. All the rest of this, I'm like, why are you going out of your way to damage other human beings? Why? Like for money? That you think that's how you get money? There's so many other ways to get money. You know, like it blew my mind because it didn't compute to me. So that's why I think I had some like, oh, maybe he's doing this for this, but he didn't know who I was. That sounds silly to say, but he didn't know who I was. He'd never seen a video.
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I think I am? Sorry. He didn't know anything about me, and we just liked each other. And he didn't know anything about me for weeks after we had started dating. And I didn't follow him on social media. He didn't look at my social media. And one day I followed him, and I still have the text where he was like, he thought I had like a small country audience. Someone said, oh, because she lives in Nashville. And he's like, that's some small country audience you have there. He thought I was a brand new recording artist. He just took a chance working with me because he's a really good producer and he works in music and he kicks some serious butt. He just liked my vibe and worked with me. So that built a lot of trust because he didn't care about any of this stuff. He doesn't care about social media. He doesn't care about anything but the art of entertainment. So that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really nice to connect. I've been fortunate so far to connect with people who just like me for who I am and I like them for who they are.
Yay.
And it's just this like, you know, it's how it's supposed to be.
I found an old message. I don't know if I have to say who. People might even know. I found a message from a girl, but I was like, oh, she's a friend, like in the industry, and who turned out to be like the biggest backstabbing person. I couldn't fathom the level of backstabbing that she did to myself and a lot of other people along the way now. She sent me a message years ago that said like, you know, once I have as many followers as you, I don't need you anymore and I'll drop you. And I wrote like, ha 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 ha, like as it's a joke. She wasn't joking. Like, and people will say these weird things. And every single time when I look back now, people will show you who they are. They'll tell you who they are. And you just gotta believe them.
There's certain moments when people tell you, sometimes bluntly, but sometimes they'll insert certain thing. Like they'll say something about somebody else's like case, like somebody at work did this, or I heard somebody in the industry did this. What do you think about that? Like just to see.
Yeah.
I saw a video about it, and
you're testing me like I don't know you're testing me. Yeah.
Yeah, like people will basically, they'll tell you in words, maybe not so directly, but they'll tell you what they're all about, and you will willfully ignore it because you're not going to want to believe it, but you should listen to those like little phrases that they insert, right?
Yeah, everybody isn't good.
Yeah.
It's not the most wonderful topic, but it's reality. And everybody doesn't have your best interests at heart. But the good part is, even though I've seen lots of bad, there's still good people and they find each other.
How do you balance between being very open to people and, you know, because I get a vibe from you. I'm the similar way. I'm very open and I love people. I genuinely love people.
Aren't they the best?
Yeah. Yeah, they are. How do you balance between like maybe opening yourself too much to somebody who you maybe should reserve yourself a little bit, you know, more just to feel it out, and actually like being like, yeah, this is the person that I know for sure I can just be myself with and open up and they're going to be a friend, or, you know, how do you balance those two? I struggle like balancing being the Eastern European who's like, I don't trust anybody in the room, and like being the North American, like, yay, I just, you know, love
friends,
everybody.
people. Yeah. If I get the feeling I can't trust you, I can't.
Right.
If I'm in, your gut's always right. And if I'm being honest with myself, I deceived myself every time I got burned. I knew those people weren't good people, but I continued to associate with them because they're popular, other people like them, or, maybe they're not as bad as people say or whatever. It's like, no, they were always as bad as people said. And my gut told me on day one, watch out. Like, you get that weird, like, uncomfortable. If I'm uncomfortable, it's for a reason. And if I'm sitting here with you and I feel like I can't talk to you, then I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to go on your podcast. I've gone on podcasts in the past where I was uncomfortable from the second we started. And those were podcasts that they're mean people that are sitting there trying to set people up to look bad. Why? Because they get off on it. And I just don't need that energy. So I'll say no. I say no so much now. It's really fun.
It's a good thing. It's a good skill to develop, right?
It's really, like, I thought for so many years I wasn't allowed to say no. Like, I grew up, hardcore dancer and cheerleader and even like the modeling stuff and whatever. It's like, yes, okay, sure. No, I got this. I can do this. Sure. And then you get into situations that aren't awesome because you don't have any boundaries and you think you have to please everybody and be this fluffy Barbie, whatever, that is always going to help everyone. And you don't. And you can say, I'm not doing that. And they might call you a bitch. And guess what? That's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Just give less fucks about that, right?
Yeah. Someone's not going to like you. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to like them either.
Yeah. Well, I'm really happy that you said yes to this podcast because I really do enjoy talking to you.
Same. Back at you. I love watching you win. I'm like, ooh, the rebrand. Ooh, let's go. And then, the haircut. Like, can I just talk about your filter really quick?
Oh my God, yes, please. So Instagram removed my filter. So many people have messaged me about it. I think it's a glitch. I've tried to contact them about it as much as you can contact Instagram, but
yeah.
Please tell me about my filter that I'm missing.
I have to tell you this about your filter, and it's probably gonna be shocking. I've used it for a long time. When did you put that filter up?
I'll tell you now. A girl from Moscow made it for me in 2022. I was back home by myself without Alex. That's like the timeline. Okay. Okay, and she made it. It was fall of 2022.
Okay. So I've probably used that filter since then. And I always would joke with friends. And I think I joked with my dude too I'm like, this filter looks like Cristina. I was like, look at this filter. Look at this circle. It looks like her. And I was like, look at her. I didn't know it was you. I didn't know it was your filter. I didn't know. I used it every day. Did you know that that's the filter I use? Have you ever noticed, like, on my stories or anything, or my reels, it's your filter? And I just
You've used it for that long?
Yeah, I just thought the girl looked like you. I was like, that looks like her lips. Like, didn't know until recently. And I was like, what is this filter? I'm like, it's Cristina. I'm like, is this Cristina's filter? And then you said the thing and I'm like, this is the filter. I have to show you, like, all my old stories, everything. I've used your filter. I'm like, because it's just smooth. You don't look like
it doesn't change your face. Yeah, I'm very careful to lighting. Like not exactly because this camera, this camera right here, the selfie camera, the angle, it distorts your face and it makes your face look not the way it actually looks. Exactly. So when I wanted to, I didn't develop it. I don't know how to do it. I hired somebody who knows what she's doing and she did it for me. And I told her, I was like, I want it to be natural. Like, just make it look as if this is actually the way I look, like the way I look in real life. Like you look exactly even better, actually, to be completely honest.
Wait, let's just say this one again. This feels good.
No, you do. Honestly.
In real life, how do
she literally looks in real life like she's using a filter, a beauty filter on Instagram. I'm telling you, like I'm sitting across from her. She's gorgeous. Look at her.
This is the nicest compliment I've got in my life.
No, but honestly.
Thanks. So I've always had that worry of like using filters and then
being in real life and be like, oh, she doesn't look.
Oh,
like, she looks way worse in real life than she does. Yeah, there was okay. So I fear my nose was not like this when I was born. Let's just put it that way.
You did a remix.
I did a remix on my nose.
Cool.
And I was laughing because I was like, if Alex and I have kids, their noses are not going to look like this. Like their noses are going to have a bit of they're probably going to want a nose job. I'm not going to say need.
Yeah.
But one of our children is probably going to want a nose job.
That's okay. It's a remix.
So yeah. And I've heard stories of like some influencers who have kids and their kids don't look like them because there's been some work done. So that was my fear with filters as well. Is
not going to look the same.
Yeah, not going to look the same in real life. But you look gorgeous in real life, even more gorgeous than you do on social media.
So,
And
yeah.
what are your thoughts actually in general on filters? Do you think, people should be allowed to use whatever?
Yeah, filter it up. Do it.
Filter it out?
Yeah, at first I was like, the
Change your
silly
face.
ones,
Make
whatever.
yourself look like an alien.
Yeah, do that. Have dog ears, do it. But
I miss those. They were so
They
in
were
trend
really
like a few years
fun.
ago. Those were the real filters.
I like those filters.
I miss the bunnies,
I
the
want to be a
doggos.
cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, I like using them as characters too when there's like a voice changer on it. I just
Yes,
play like
the
improv
Snapchat.
games with myself and just make up characters. It's
Yeah.
fun.
It's so fun.
But on the daily, I don't think there's anything wrong with throwing a filter on because sometimes you don't want to do a full face of makeup. You're about to go to bed, but you want to look nice because you're posting something. Or maybe you're a really busy mom. Now that most of my girlfriends are moms, I have so much empathy for the time suck that you don't expect, and maybe they want to feel beautiful and I don't care if they use a filter. I don't care. Even that late, do what you want to do to feel beautiful online. Do it. I don't care. Get plastic surgery. Do whatever you want to feel pretty. The end. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, because it will improve your confidence levels. And that's what matters the most.
And we are going to be dead one day. And I keep that in the back of my head quite often. Like, one day we'll be gone. So have fun and feel pretty and look cute and wear your FUBU jersey today. Why not? It's fun. And have some freaking sparkles on your jeans. Why? 'Cause life. Like, whatever. Filter your face. I don't give a... You look nice.
Yes. You don't know how long you've got, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Nicole,
Yeah.
thank you so much for your time. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And thank you to our wonderful listeners for tuning into this episode. I will see you next week.